Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secret financial language of big business. Today we are diving into Xenous Holdings' latest 10K filing. It is a bit like searching for treasure in an empty room. Trust me, you will see. This report essentially tells us how Xenous has performed over the past year. But here's the thing. Xenous is what's called a shell company, which basically means it's a company with no real business operations of its own. Instead, it's hunting for a real business to take over through a merger or acquisition. So, really, the report details more about their search than actual business. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can chat with other investors. First things first, this is indeed their annual report on Form 10K, telling us how the last fiscal year went, which ended in March. They're based out of Hong Kong and are a smaller reporting company, as less strict requirements with certain SEC rules. So what's Xenous actually up to? Well, as a shell company, pretty much all they do is look for a business to buy. Their main goal for the next year is to find a target company and kickstart operations by acquiring an actual business. They could technically enter into any lawful business or industry. Something that makes searching for the business even harder is how the SEC has limited the tradability of securities, especially shares they issue in acquisitions. Regulations regarding shell companies place limits on the ability to use certain forms to register securities. All this regulation might eliminate the perceived advantages of a company going public using the method that Xenous is using. Basically, there are hoops and hoops within hoops. Now, there's one specific target they mention, a company called Dade Advanced Agarwood Alpha. It looks like Xenous has been circling this company for a while and are keeping tabs on Dade Advance's market growth, especially in Europe and the Middle East. Positive feedback and preliminary sales have happened, but there are no purchase agreements in place. Whether or not Xenous actually buys Dade Advance depends on a few key things, such as if Dade Advance can bag long-term contracts and prove they can actually scale up production. Let's switch over to the numbers for a second. Till the year ended in March, net cash used in operating activities was about $63,000. For a company with no operation, that amount represents various operating costs, such as professional fees to lawyers and accountants to keep the company afloat. Looking at the balance sheet, the company had no assets for the past 2 years. Total liabilities landed at roughly $900,000, which sounds alarming, and it represents all the IOU the company has. The total shareholders deficit is consequently an equally shocking negative $900,000. Remember that shareholder value is assets minus liabilities. The company has incurred some net operating losses over the year, but the potential tax benefits don't mean much if the company isn't making money to offset those losses. Time to meet the leadership. We have Tang Wai Ki as the chairman, Jonathan Chan Yi-eun as CEO, Stephanie Mak as CFO, and Yao Gang as the Chief Technology Officer. All of them joined around early 2022. It's worth noting that Xenous has a code of ethics and has a nominating committee and audit committee, but they don't have anything in it because they only have 3 executive officer directors and believe they had managed it on their own. For compensation, turns out the CEO and CFO made exactly $0 and had no equity awards at time now. Taking a step back, what's the takeaway here? Xenous is basically a financial limbo dancer, trying to find a profitable business without tripping over regulations or running out of cash. Advanced Agarwood Alpha could be the answer, but it's still too early to tell. Yuma financials are definitely concerning with all losses and no assets currently. Agarwood Alpha could be the answer, but it's still too early to tell. And the financials are definitely concerning with all losses and no assets currently. Off the takeaway here is for what to do about Xenous. The company's fate hangs entirely with Alpha. Could be the answer, but it's still too early to tell. And the financials are definitely concerning with all losses and no assets currently. As for what to do about Xenous, the company's fate hangs entirely on finding the right deal. Lots of uncertainty and a high risk. Alright, that's Xenous Holdings decoded for you. What do you think? Is Xenous going to strike gold, or is it just another shell in the corporate graveyard? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and join our Discord community. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.